Karen, I want to talk about our social media management and marketing program that we've been doing for a number of years that I'm very passionate about and so excited that we've gotten such great results with so many businesses.
It is good to hear how well people are doing. I just got a call from a graduate who is setting up a nursing continuing education program, and she asked me for input. And her business is growing really well as a result of her social media activities. And she was quoting content she had learned from the program, talking about her avatars and what she needed to do to reach them and where they were. It's been 5 or 6 years since she took the program, and she's still using what she learned.
Yes, and I just teamed up with one of our first students that does floral arrangements, and now she's building out her own channel with consulting. She has online training. And then, of course, we've had the pleasure of working with people like the city of Raleigh and a number of towns, including the RDU airport as well.
Town of Morrisville took the class.
We had Roseville was one of them, Fayetteville. People that tend to come to this class go into several groups, and I'd like to talk about those. And one is people who've gone through a full marketing training of 4 years, but they feel they don't have the most cutting edge information and resources, and they want to really get that job. They aren't getting a job yet. It's not working. My favorite one, Karen, is the one where I knew her, the mother, and she calls in, if my son, after spending $100,000 on college, takes your course, will he get a job? I said, I can't guarantee it, but if he does everything, I'll increase the probability. And he did. He's now in, I think, Washington State. We had one young person who had done social media a lot in their life, but they really hadn't thought from the level of professional applying it, liability risk, all these aspects that we cover in the course. That was not something they had gotten enough training on, and they got it. And that was where the employer said, you got 90 days in this class. If you succeed, we'll keep you. If not, we'll let you go. And she, of course, kept the job. We've had some women that have been out of the workforce. They were in marketing, and then they worked with their kids and came back into it. That was very rewarding to see them re-hone their skills. We had one gentleman that was in marketing but was a little behind, and he was moved down out of the business as a kind of paid consultant. It was a nice way of not wanting to fire him and get them around. And he not only succeeded so well, they replaced that other person and put him in charge.
I think of two success stories is someone who took our class for their family real estate business just rang the bell on the New York Stock Exchange because they IPO'd just the other week. I think you may have seen that one because we shared it. And that was pretty amazing. I knew they had something in the works because of what they were developing, but I didn't expect it to be an IPO. And then the other one was our well-told used car story where somebody turned down a trip to Vegas in exchange. Instead of going to Vegas, he got his boss to buy our class for him. He took the class. He took a $200 a month advertising budget up to selling tons of cars, getting a personal consultant at Facebook. And now he has moved on to owning his own business in the trades, where it looks like he's doing really well. And if he keeps marketing the way he marketed cars, let's just say he's going to have a big piece of the Triangle's business in that particular trade.
Yes. And then we had the woman a single mother who had a business. When I first met her, a few thousand fans. I think she got up to 30,000 followers, where she sells a downloadable product that lets you use these sewing machine systems to improve that.
E-files for sewing machines. And then she sent her fiance because he ended up doing some of her marketing. So she needed him to know what the language was and what they were talking about. Lots of people have taken the class and done really well. I think the content and the structure of the class fills a gap that many people who either are traditional marketing professionals or who find themselves with newly assigned marketing responsibilities and they're not quite sure what to do, or they find themselves in a position where they need to do social media professionally. They may do Facebook like a demon with their grandkids or with their girlfriends, but suddenly they've got to do it for a construction business or somebody in the trades, and they need to be doing it on a professional level, and they're not quite sure how. And our class fits exactly that spot. Right price point, right time investment, great, useful takeaway knowledge when you're done.
Yes, and another credential that either helps you get promoted inside your business or secure your job, or for people who are they're in between work and wanting to upgrade their skills. Let's cover some of the topics that we review and the structure, because I think the structure's just as valuable, because we build that community of people that are working together, that stay connected after the class, including our monthly follow-on events where they can, once a month they meet and we share tips. What's the latest? What's changing?
Right. Okay. So the basic is we present the activities of social media marketing in a plan that is structured according to project management approaches everywhere, with a 10-step repeatable process. And we take you through initial inventory, discovery, hypothesis, audit, plan. We take a special unit on how to come up with content day after day, month after month, on the theory that anybody can do content for 3 weeks, but doing it for 3 months or 3 years is a different matter. We talk about metrics, we talk about reporting, and we talk about close down. Should you leave a client? Should you need to shut down an account? Should somebody leave and you need to get them off your accounts? How to do that in an orderly and professional manner. So that's our approach. We go through these steps and give you a framework for doing social media marketing that's bigger than any one platform. These steps would apply to any platform, the ones we know right now, but people are applying them to platforms. Heavens, lots. TikTok is one, but there's dozens of dozens perhaps not, plenty of platforms that have come out since we even began teaching. Mm-hmm. And some people, Snapchat is one. People have taken the lessons and applied them to the new platforms as needed and done quite well.
Yeah, that's the key, is we're also giving a structure for the student to ongoingly stay ahead of the curve. And that's, to me, part of what we teach is how do you live in a world where it's constantly changing, as I described, like an island with random earthquakes changing its terrain all the time. Keep your sanity and learn what you need to know to stay competitive, and know what you need to let go of or come back to in the future. I think that's almost as valuable as some of the content we get them on it, is how to be able to ongoingly stay effective in this field.
Right. And we also, as a sidebar, we have several throughout the structure of the class. We step out of traditional or formal social media marketing and address some things you need to know, like how to approach the ownership of intellectual property. What is copyright? How does it affect you when you are doing social media and it's your business name on the line? It's one thing to go borrow a picture off of Google when it's your private birthday party invitation, but it's another thing when you're putting your company name on it. You want to understand who owns that picture and how to use it safely. We talk about hiring out, outsourcing a little bit of work, how to price your services, how to think about hiring people in terms of pricing. And then just very recently, we've added units on how to use artificial intelligence in social media marketing, because that wasn't there in 2013 when we first started teaching this class. Mm-hmm. But we have responded to the changing marketplace, like we've mentioned the new platforms that showed up along the way. Heaven knows we've been asked about, are we going to address what happened over at X or Twitter? Well, kind of, yes, we will take care of it, but it won't be the focus, but we will address things. And AI is the hugest thing probably to come along in the 10 years we've been teaching the class. And we have units on how to use AI, how to think about it. Not that you necessarily have to. You're free to not do any of this stuff, but you do need to know about it. And that's what we help people do, is understand the things that are going on in the field, so that you're not sitting there looking like a deer in the headlights when somebody at the conference room table says, well, what about, can't we get AI to do all our social media marketing? Yeah, sure you can. Right. Welcome to a mess. Okay. But you need to know about it.
I want to talk about the capstone project, what it is and what's required of the students. It's such a valuable aspect of our program.
Okay. Well, we have a couple of requirements of students that in terms of participation. First, they have to attend, have to be on camera, they have to participate. Class is very engaged. It's real time. We do record it, but you have to be there in class. And currently, as we are teaching it at NC State, they have an attendance requirement if you want the certificate. So there's that part. We also request that people participate on social media platforms. Not all of them necessarily, but they need to be engaged in the social media universe, and we review current events every week. Then this, like you said, the capstone project is that we ask students to take a project through the 10 steps of the program in real time as we are teaching the class. Now, if you are super focused and super organized, there are people who have completed their projects in the classroom hours of the class. Not many, but a few. It is theoretically possible. So we ask that you either take the work project that you were asked to manage or a personal project. The limits on the project are really that you are able to do it in the framework of the class, in the timeline of the class that we have. And sometimes people who work for very big institutions, and we're thinking, military or government or some big corporations, and we've had North Carolina Department of Revenue is a pretty big thing. It can be difficult for someone in that kind of position to get a project done in 8 or 12 weeks, simply because of the amount of coordination. For people like that, they may wish to do a personal project. We had someone who worked for a big company who realized he was never going to get the approvals he needed in the time he had. So he did a personal business, a sideline photography business, and he took that through the 10 steps where he did the initial inventory and he did the discovery work and he did an audit and wrote a plan, and he learned how to work the steps. People have discussion. We have regular discussions and project reviews throughout the course. And you can discuss where you're going or where you're hitting rough spots, all sorts of things that come up in the real world about doing social media marketing for a real project. And then in the last week of class, everybody has a 15-minute presentation where they talk about what did they do, what did they learn, what had they hoped to achieve, what did they achieve, what would they do differently? And we have some feedback and discussion about that project. And it is amazing because we've heard these projects. They're introduced in the first week. People are talking about them throughout the class. They're working on them privately. And then they come back. And these projects are amazing. And they've done all sorts of great things in the course of the program. And they tell us about it at the end of class. Another benefit of taking the class is that in the course of the class, the students are free to schedule a private hour with Martin and or me to talk about anything. So it can be project related, it can be life related. Martin is a life coach. I am an artist. We've had all sorts of conversations, but those hour of private consultations come with your tuition. If you're interested, please contact Martin or I. Our contact information is on the website. And sign up. The next flight of the course starts on October 1st. We are offering it in the evening this time. It's an experiment. Most of the time we have offered it on Monday afternoons, but we are going to experiment with offering it Monday evenings. So it'll be 8 weeks from October 1st. It'll finish just before Thanksgiving. Contact NC State. The contact information is on the website. And sign up. If you have any questions, we're happy to talk to you.
Well, I really look forward to seeing you in the class, and have a great day.
Okay. Hope to see you.